So the idea of the subtle body is shared by all the Indic traditions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Tantra, not Tantra, and they all do not agree to what is meant by the subtle body. Now you can see my problem is like if there are 18 schools of Buddhism and maybe another, I don't know, 120 different schools of Hinduism. And so if they start defining subtle body differently, then it gets really complex or confusing too. But there are some general understandings. I'm going to boil down to what they meant in broadly acceptable terms for all those infinite, like 400 schools maybe. That would be, when you do certain things, it leaves some residue. You hurt someone, you are not just hurting that person, a part of you is also hurt there. When you make someone happy, a part of you becomes happy. It's like a snail trail. We call that samskara, residue, imprints. And subtle body is mostly the imprints of our actions. And is there any physicality in that subtle body, the imprint? I will give you a metaphor of a snail trail. I am sure you all have seen the snail trail. When snails kind of go from, some of them are a little gross, but they're just kind of neat animals on their own. And then slimy. That's why we humans have a little bit of a, reservation towards slimy things. So they leave behind this slimy, silky, kind of shiny trail. And that is a physical thing, but that's not like the snail itself. Similarly, you leave behind some trace for what you do, and that is left in your mind, mental complex. So there is a little bit of a physicality that is your imprints, impressions of your actions, and that is going to create a tendency. So in childhood, if you are oriented towards particular sports, and you might like to have some tendency towards that, but they do not go for only one lifetime. Because if in this life you are a singer, you may keep alive some residue of being a singer, and then another life you are not a singer, you are doing math, but then you like to go sneak in your friend's music class, or some you are a music fan. So it's like we have some tendencies either expressed or dormant, and the subtle body is composed both of the expressed and dormant tendencies left behind by our own actions. And they have some physicality, but they are mostly psychological. Therefore, what they believe is that when we die, that mind and the mental thing constituting subtle body does not die, and it transmigrates, meaning going from one body after another, accumulating more and more of those residue. And the meditation practice or liberation practices help us cleanse those residues. That's what it means.